Hey everybody, and welcome back again. Hopefully I'm still first to the dance, but we'll find out as we do the three-part. Now I did all these videos in one session. Split them apart though, because I didn't. Someone did like I think my highest viewed one so far is my review of Magnum TA, and um, and I think what's funny was because I did everybody else just kind of as a large group. And I guess I could have made more videos out of it because I know they say the more videos you make, the more you get noticed. Um, but I don't want to be one of those guys that like relies on doing that. But at the same time, I also didn't want to go really long into a super long video because I know that 30-minute review video probably upturned a lot of people potentially from watching this. I'm noticing a trend. Unless you have features or videos or something to show, most people don't want to watch some guy talk for 30 minutes. So I digress. But here's the last of the series of the first of the dance. We're going to go with, now this guy's before my time. I will say though that the last beer we got him was atrocious. Those skinny legs, the only cool thing was that the face was good. The robe was really nice. The hammer jammer was really good. Oh, I think I gave it away. Greg the Hammer Valentine from Rhythm and Blues. Yes, he came with the Elvis jacket. Yes, he had sunglasses as well, and he has a guitar. They're in one of the display boxes right now, possibly an accessory box to be sold in the future. Again, I don't keep all the accessories usually, unless I'm going to sell the figure. But I don't see us getting a ultimate of him anytime soon. Um, and even then, since we're not, I do say though they did modify him, and for the better. For one, yes, his hugely, extremely big calves, they don't seem that big to me. Looking at old school wrestling, the guys were beefy back then. Guys were bulky. Um, when I did pro wrestling back in the day, I remember being trained out here in Portland wrestling before Don Owen passed away and before Playboy Buddy Rose passed away. I was talking to him, and I was probably only about 18 at the time. He told me to finish high school and he'd train me, but then he passed away before I could come back after my cancer treatment. So I ended up going to Dr. Cleaver and oh gosh, what was the other guy? Billy, something Billy, I forget his name now. Just kind of the indie garbage wrestling, if you will. Um, it was like I was gonna be a clown or something like that. But they were telling me though that all back here is free meat, so clobber away, and that's kind of how it was. These guys were big, beefy, big men, big meat hitting big meat. Okay, whatever. You know, um, I did wise up a lot, learn a lot about the wrestling business back then. Like I said, I was a huge fan, and being that I was already 6'8", I was a huge prospect, but it just never panned out. I was not a fan of going and doing illegal activities, like taking down signs that say no trespassing, so they could try to put a show up there. I just wasn't going to do that kind of stuff. Also, I'm not in the drug scene, and a lot of the guys who were favored in those promotions were guys who either were in the drug scene with the promoters or could get the guys drugs. So, but it'd be cool to have a Playboy Buddy Rose, but I digress. So you got Rhythm and Blues, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and obviously we're getting Honky Tonk Man in the Best of Legends series in the future. I don't think it's going to say, it's probably not going to say Rhythm and Blues because I don't think Honky Tonk went that route. But Greg the Hammer Valentine did. This is near the tail end of his career as far as like real relevancy. After his feud with Junkyard Dog and the racial overtones with that, and his Intercontinental run, and his Phantom win over Bob Backlund for the title, that was reversed immediately, and I think a second match took place. So he was kind of on his way out the door. I mean, he did this tag team gimmick. I think he got big enough to go to WrestleMania 7, I think it was, where DDP rolled in with the Cadillac. Maybe I may be wrong, maybe 4, but I think it was 5. I don't know. It's one of those. I should look back in that. Like I said, I know some history, but I probably should have looked back into that. Did my research on that. But I will say though, great improvement. You've got his, he's You still got the hammer. You lose the Valentine on the back. You got rhythm and blues instead. You got nothing in the front, so there's no GV in the front or like that. But the face is, Greg the Hammer's, oh so beautiful mug right there. He doesn't stand as tall as Perfect at all. Let me Perfect crouching down a little bit here. I was thinking about doing a Perfect Plex with him. Because I've seen how some people on here play with their figures, and you're going to have that figure for long if you like that. I mean, I've kept mine, pretty much. He's a little taller. And I don't know if Greg the Hammer Valentine was, he was kind of more stocky built. I will say, though, these calves, I mean, if these are produced in great mounts, I could see a lot of people buying these Greg the Hammer Valentine figures just so they can take the legs off and throw them on other chicken skin legs, if you will. I won't cuss at it, but I mean they're just perfect. I mean, obviously the skin tone they gotta be able to match, but they kind of remind me of the Don Morocco, legs, because he's kind of more of a beefier build to him. Bruno Sammartino is also a guy I think got these kind of building of the legs coming up pretty soon. But these are great, fix-ups for guys like, well, obviously it wouldn't work because it's not the same color unless you were to paint them red or blue, but Junkyard Dog. I mean, I was watching this thing, man. He was a big, bulky dude too, and yet we got skinny little leg, Junkyard. So he is definitely overdue. I know he just had a Legend recently, but he definitely needs a retool on those legs. They're way too thin. If they're going with his his post drug look, he was more beefed up then even because he'd swelled out by that point. So I'm just gonna kick out of these things like the backdrop. They look really good. I don't know. I just like the Perfect. He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't feel too skinny. But we're talking about Greg the Hammer Valentine here. Boots are great. He's got, side-to-side articulation a little bit. Decal on the boots is really good. You've got like this, it's really weird. It's almost like they just decided to paint the boot, what is that? Laces. The boot laces, duh. They're the same color as the Perfect ones. Like they're kind of like a silvery, brownish color to them. So it's like, maybe they're going with a more of a dirtier look because guys back then, they didn't have the cleanest looking gear. I mean, you bought gear and you wore it town to town. And I think Vader was notorious for not washing his gear a lot of times and really, upsetting a lot of people. But, that was the old days. Nowadays, everyone's got new gear. Everyone's changing gear. So, but again, if you want, a Greg Valentine in his more later tag team kind of, run, with a different body build than his Legend 7 figure was. 7? I think it was Legend 7. Because I remember how people were thrilled that he got, announced, and then you saw the body parts, and it was like, okay, he's got a barrel-tested torso, but what is with the legs? I mean, was he on, did he skip leg day for the last 5 years? This one definitely makes up for it. It just feels, who would look really good in this form too? Not Don Morocco. I said Don Morocco. Dino Bravo. Dino Bravo with the blue trunks, changed the head, obviously changed the boots. Maybe I think he wore knee pads. Will we ever see a Dino Bravo from Mattel? Probably not, given that circumstance, and I've posted that many times. But a lot of these stockier, shorter guys, heck, even Bob Backlund, not as late, win the title back in 1994 look, but even his like early 70s look. I mean, this would be flawlessly perfect for Bob Backlund. But again, like I said, he's going to probably be a figure that you're going to see. He'll be up there at Target. But again, if customizers see these legs and see the possibilities of this, I could see him getting gobbled up by everybody, especially customizers, because I mean, he comes on, I didn't say this, but he's on ball joints. Perfect is on ratchet joints. Heck, you know what? For the second, since it's the final one, RVD is on ball joints. Okay. Of course, he's on ball joints. I think all Ultimates have to be on ball joints. Perfect ratchet joints. Valentine's on ball joints. So that's good news because I know that's easier to remove ball jointed figures than it is to remove ratchet jointed figures. So anyway, the video's gone long enough. Hopefully you've enjoyed the series of the First of the Dance. If I get some other people miraculously before anybody else, I will continue to do this. Otherwise, it's just late to the dance. Check back next time, as I'll probably review somebody who just came out as well, but from a rival promotion. Stay tuned. See you next time.